I'm just going to demonstrate a few basic seed bead techniques. So here we have a bead spinner. This one's an electric version. It has a toggle that switches between left and right, and a curved beading needle, which will feed the beads on. So I've just fed this through the end of the loop. Because you're going to want to go opposite of the way you have the needle pointed. So I want it to spin this direction. And you can see them feed on. So this feeds them all the way up the needle and around the curve. So I'm just going to tape the end here so that I don't lose any on the end while I'm feeding them through. Just going to tape that off so that none of them come off. So at this point I have my elastic cord at this end. Just going to feed them right on. So you have to tug just a little bit. So I want this to be about 22 inches in length. So I'm just going to measure this doubled up to 11 inches. And then we'll leave a nice tail. So it's very simple to finish off the cord. We're just going to tie the end. We're going to want this to be pretty tight here so that it ends up disappearing. We'll just feed it between, making sure that we don't catch one of those beads. Make sure it's in between. And then we'll kind of just gently tug it until it becomes tight and there's no spaces in any of the beading. And then we'll knot it a couple more times. Again, tugging, make sure that knot disappears. And then we'll take our flush cutters and trim this nice and tight so that there isn't any cord hanging off the ends. So now that's knotted nice and tight. And we're just going to put a little dab of Loctite Super Glue Ultra Gel Control. We like to use this for a lot of things. And I'm going to put that right on the knot. Just a little dab of it. You can see there. And I like to just dab it around a little bit and then kind of press these beads together and just let it dry. And there's a couple ways that we can finish this necklace out. Nice lion head pendant, a jump ring and a bail, and we can add that to this necklace really easily. So what I've done here is just tripled up my length. So when you are finished, it's going to be about 3.5 inches in diameter. This is about a 7-inch bracelet. So let's say you want an 8-inch bracelet, then you would take 8 times 3 and then add another inch to your final length. But since I wanted this to be a 7-inch bracelet, I did 21 inches and then added another inch for the gathering that happens here, the overlapping. So I just kind of work back and forth across when I'm adding the initial rings. So I've put about 4 rings on here, and this will maintain the shape. Just open the bead, feed the 3 strands through. This with one hand and crimp with the other. Just keep crimping down until the ends meet up and are even. So now you'll see that this bead has a little bit more of an oval shape. So here are the variations. I did this one in a pretty pink and plum and red and copper color scheme. And then I did this one in kind of ocean inspired colors. So next I'm going to show you how to use our paddle ear wires, these long arched ear wires to create this earring. So all I'm going to do to start is just uncross the bend in this ear wire. So we'll start with a couple of round copper beads. And these have a little bit larger hole, so they're going to fit over that bend pretty easily that we've created. Start with those. And then I'm going to add kind of this tube bead. These have a little smaller hole, so you may need to bend this out a little further to get it to slide over. And then we have this satin green color. This one's really very much sea glass colored. Another kind of pinky copper color, two of this kind of bottle green copper, and then one more small sea glass. So you can see this one just slides over, and now we have a matching pair of earrings. So I don't want these to come off. We're going to slide this top bead up. I'm going to put a little bit of that same Loctite. We will slide this top bead right on top of it and pull it down and let that dry. And that will keep these on the ear wire. So now we have a few really fun ways to use seed beads with our new Vintage Mediterranean Romance product release.